I'm going to tell you a story. Now, picture pages, picture page. You guys missed it. Oh, you missed the 70s. There was a couple good things about the 70s. Picture pages and Fat Albert were one of them. Anyway, I'm going to tell you a story. It is about an older man, not necessarily an old man, quite some time ago. And I remember all of a sudden there was this cute little thing in his life. Not in a sexual way or romantic. There was a cute little girl in a professional setting in this man's life. And I only just heard stories hanging out with him here and there. And he was going to basically mentor her, help her along in his profession and field. And my eyebrow, because by this time I was cynical, and I'm like, oh, really? You sure you just don't want to fuck her? Which, at a fundamental level, yes, if you're an attractive woman, every guy wants to fuck you. I'm just being honest. But I actually did not believe that. I knew this man. Honest and true, he probably did want to actually help her out. Do credit to him. But at also another level, yes, of course. Duh. But I think his primary interest was actually helping out this person. And I was very, not suspicious, though, that too. I had no faith it was going to be good. None whatsoever. And sure enough, over 6 months, despite this guy with good intentions, probably even good Christian intentions, seeing potential in this young gal. And basically, you understand, like, if you're introducing someone to your network, right, that's about as big of an advantage you're going to get in the field. Like, hey, I know this guy. Like, if you wanted me, I'll give you a perfect example. I do hate corruption. I hate nepotism. I hate connections. Because it's really hard when you're younger to get your network up. But at the same time, if you stay long enough in the field, you will develop connections. Thankfully, the fucking boomer class will die out. And then also, like, yeah, if you want to write a book, say, I'm probably the guy to talk to. Cappy, I want to write a book. Okay, I know an editor, like, who can edit your book. I know how to log it in, set you up with Amazon, right? I know other people who do. I know people who could draw you a cover. And that's not nepotism, cronyism. Since I've been in the industry long, I'm like, yeah, I know the guy. So it's a function of age. And then if you're a young person and there's an older person like, yeah, I know how to set you up. I got the guy for you, right? I know the person who supplies railroad ties. I know the person who supplies locomotive engines. You can have your train company up and running here in like 3 months. So I think it's also a lot of people like to help out younger people. So this is a tremendous gift, a tremendous opportunity for this young, pretty lady. She fucking pissed it away. Because I looked at her and I'm like, okay, there's pretty gals, and then there's drop dead gorgeous gals. And this gal was a drop dead gorgeous gal. I'm like, nope, it ain't going to work. It ain't going to work. And the reason why is that pretty girls in general, but especially the exceptionally pretty ones, they never have to grow up. And we go back to the classic Bill Burr quote, women are surrounded by this tornado of misinformation and nobody corrects them because we want to fuck them. And especially the really pretty girls, it is not even their fault because nowhere do they learn negative conditioning, right? It's all positive reinforcement. It's never negative reinforcement. It's always the carrot, never the stick. And anytime there's a fail, right? You, me, us regular schlebs, if we fail, no one's going to pay our rent. No one's going to pay for my health care or pay for my babies. They're going to say, go fuck yourself. That's what they're going to say. But if you're a pretty girl, there's always a simp. I'm not even talking the government or the welfare state. There are private sector simps all over. All over. Look at Elizabeth Holmes. Right? Now she wasn't collecting welfare or had trouble paying rent. The main reason Elizabeth Holmes got billions in financing because old men wanted to fuck her. She had no product. She had no scientific background. a fucking scam artist. And I got to imagine, I don't even think she had the intelligence or the cleverness to say, let's make a scam. Okay. I'm going to get my buddies in here. She actually believed her own bullshit, probably because she was a pretty girl the entire time. And all like, touch Peen now. Here's $1 billion in financing. Peen, get touched. And so when you see an exceptionally pretty woman, that is a person who has never had to face the real world entirely on their own. They've never faced consequences. They've ever had to lift their own weights, and they're just not capable of basic fucking shit. And surprise, guess what happened with this exceptionally pretty girl? Big opportunity, big meeting. She's fucking late. Not even late. Guy had a call. Are you showing up? Oh, just woke up. I forgot. Oh, you forgot? The most important meeting in your entire fucking life, and you forgot? The reason I would never miss whatever meeting, like let's say I really got into the echelons of high finance. After going through fucking starving and patrolling and walking years in security and campus and sleep deprivation, and having to study and work hard and getting into, if I got into the upper, the inner circle, Cappy, okay, you're right. Enough of us boomer fuckwits died off. We figured out we needed someone like you actually know what the fuck you're doing. We need you in here. Meet us at the inner circle of the finance bros at this time and play. Dude, I'd be sleeping at a hotel with like 2 alarms, a buddy in the room next to me, and a wake-up call. Like, you make sure my ass is out of bed by this time, man. Wouldn't be drinking the night before. Nope. Not with pretty girls. Because pretty girls never had to have the suffer and the pain if they fucked up. Pretty girls never starve. Pretty girls don't starve. Pretty girls don't pay their rent. Pretty girls never grow the fuck up. And it gave her several opportunities, and she kept just fucking it up. I mean, the basic thing, she couldn't show up on time. And every fucking, was she probably a millennial or Zoomer at the time? Probably older millennial now. Every fucking cop-out excuse. Hey, I'm on my drugs. Oh, I'm having a day. This thing. On Flow visited. That wasn't an excuse, but I'm giving you the example. Always a fucking excuse. And, logically, you go, oh, wow, this was... Because that guy embarrassed himself in front of his network, in front of his people. But, yeah, this is an up-and-coming. This person's got their shit together. Well, where is she? And I heard that. And he's not the only one. There's others. I know another guy, fucking Captain Save-A-Hole. That's classic. I want to fuck her, and I'm going to help her. Peen still hasn't been touched yet, huh? And so now with this Sadia Khan, which I don't mean to, she's just the latest example. Like, look, I know you guys are being led by this down there. Okay, especially if you're younger. But it would really help to have some people would say an overabundance, an excessive amount of skepticism when it comes to pretty women. And I'd scale it up. I'd have a lot. You show me a 10, I'm immediately I dated a 10, 9.5. Surprise, bipolar, psychotic, slashed my tires. Because I was the first guy to dump her. And then your tires get slashed. Surprise! Because they've never been told no in their lives. And you can interact with them on a surface social level, but you cannot invest in them beyond that. Whether it's career, coworker, professionalism, romance, sex, even long-term stability, right? And so I understand you guys want to have sex with them, but the prettier the girl is, the less trustworthy she is. Now, this isn't to say that you see a knockout. Like, okay, there was a 10. And I'm rarely intimidated. I was intimidated by this girl. She showed up in my dance class. I'm like, whoa. And she didn't have a dance partner, so she had to dance with me. I am not intimidated about it, but I was like, it was weird. It was so weird. I'm like, I had these sexy, fun moves. I'm like, something was off. But she was not crazy. She was stable, a very good professional, I might add, in a field. I don't want to identify this gal, but so there. And as always, you should always judge the individual. But if you got to make a flash decision, you got to say, okay, am I going to invest my time in this person, whether it's a date, which is typically what it's going to be, or the pursuit of sex, or I'll give you a perfect example. You're at a house party, right? You're sober. And this girl starts crying because there was some kind of fucking fallout between her and her boyfriend. And she's hot. And she needs a ride home. Every guy would be jumping at the chance to drive her home. No. No. You're going to waste your time. You're going to waste your money. More modernly, I don't know. There might be some kind of accusation later. I mean, it's a small chance, but I don't know how much. No, man. You don't need that girl. I'll give you another example. You think they fucking get prison sentences? No, they don't. All of a sudden, she drops drugs. Now, I've had that happen where I've driven people home and somebody's bag of pot dropped out in my car. Not a story, bro. Really happened, officer. That's not mine. Right? Those who lay with dogs with catch fleas. But you can identify the guy you don't want to fuck whose fat smells like pot. You won't identify the exact same person because she's a hot girl with big tits. That bag of pot's going to drop out of her pocket just the same. The officer ain't going to care. Although more modernly, I guess pot isn't that big of a deal. And it's kind of the same thing. These are not competent people. Society prevents them from ever gaining competency or responsibility or punctuality. That's the big thing, right? If we're looking at the pie chart of why Cappy don't trust super hot girls, punctuality is like 85% of it. And so whatever capacity or regard you're going to invest in them, it could be romance, it could be friendship, it could just be like your group of people. Okay, here's another one, right? Let's all go hiking, right? Because that's the best thing ever. We need to make it up to the mountain peak and back by this time. We have to leave. We have to meet at the trailhead at 9 a.m. and leave at 9:01 a.m. I guarantee you, if the girl is an 8 or higher, she will be late. And now you're facing, oh, wait, we all decided we're going to leave at this time. Now we got to wait for whatever, Becky, Trisha, it doesn't matter. Now we have to run a little bit faster, right? And so, as I said before, you should always, just because it's a beautiful woman, don't discount her, like, oh, no, I'm not going to trust her. Oh, that girl's a bitch. No, you don't know that. But I will say this, pretty girls got to earn their fucking shit. They got to earn your trust. They have to show up reliably before you can trust them. And this is why a lot of you like, hey, have you seen latest hot girl who speaks conservative things on the internet? No. For the longest time, now I'll show you where I am wrong and my actual genuine bigotry has been proven wrong. Shoe on head. Now, she's been around a long time. All right. And people like, oh, look at her. And by this time, I had already known, like, yeah, I'm not going to. No. Matter of fact, she's the exception to the rule. She's like the one gal who's very attractive who isn't a fucking moron. But you're like, have you watched? I'm like, no, I'm not promoting her. I'm not. I know I'm promoting her now through I guess negative coverage. I'm like, no, I never. I'm like, no, I don't listen to her. Why? Because she's exceptionally pretty. And let's be honest, she got there because she's pretty. I'm pretty sure she'd admit that. Matter of fact, she wouldn't put that much effort into it if she didn't know. So there's a bit of business acumen and sense there. But I'm not gonna. Did you see this video? No, and I don't care. She don't need my help. She'll do just fine without me or anyone else promoting her. Right? But that would be the exception to the rule. oh my God, Republicans. She's not necessarily conservative thought, but like, oh my God, trad wife. No, no. And if you have this, like, oh, morals and principles, we should treat everyone individually. Yes, I'm with you. And we should give her the same fair handshake. Dude, don't worry. The skids are greased for her. All right. You don't have to go out your way to help out a pretty lady in the society. Don't worry. Somebody else will. Right. And if you really want to help out someone who ain't exactly the prettiest and hottest person ever. Right. Go find someone who's legit. Man, it pisses me off. I have a colleague I know, pretty red pill and all that, and then just a cute set of young ass went by, and this guy is fucking Captain Save-A-Ho. And I'm like, "Are you fucking joking me?" And the amount of money this guy has spent trying to save this woman pisses me the fuck off because I know there's hardworking men and hardworking ugly women that don't get this advantage. I'm like, dude, there are so many other deserving people. And of course, this girl has all the government aid in the world, mom and dad, and oh my God, I have bipolar, I have this, I have that, all the excuses in the world. And everybody, like, that's a powerful force, man. Like, this guy was conscious, very intelligent. You'd set a tail walks by, oh my God, she needs my help. I'm like, what the fuck was all that other stuff about the talking and the observations and the empiricism? And what ends up happening, and you kind of start to see this at my age, people who get by on their looks or let's say unearned advantages, right? Like this happens to trust fund babies, male or female, doesn't matter, pretty or not. Dad, mom give them an inheritance, but they're not what would the thing be? They're not family wealthy, they're not legacy wealthy. Like the Kennedys or the Rockefeller, like generations after generations, just so much fucking money. Like I'm talking, which is way more common, like mommy and daddy were certainly above average, upper middle income, perhaps even rich, but they gave their children only enough money because that's all the money there was for like one generation. And then the kids piss it away. I mean, kids like adults. And by my age, the money runs out and they've never had to work for it. Right. It's a beautiful sight to behold when more or less the trust fund baby, where everything was bought and paid for, mom and dad pass away, but then the money runs out at 50 because they didn't know how to control their spending. And for the first time in their lives, they gotta like actually get a job. And it's looking at a 14-year-old who's 50. Like, what do you mean? What can I? What? It's that. Privilege makes you weak. Like genuine privilege makes you weak. You never go beyond the sophomoric mentality of a 14-year-old. You don't show up on time. You got no hustle because you've never had starvation, fear, and death threatening you every fucking day of your life where you're like, God dang it, I gotta remember I had to shut off the water mains to the house because I was in a basement apartment in Minnesota. And like, okay, it's going to drop below freezing tonight in the basement. Better layer up. Like, yeah, that might make you show up on time. But oh my God, you don't even I taught Cynical Libertarian Society. It's in LibSoc. I forget which video or episode it was. The great one, many years ago, when he was a simp. He gave this drug addict girl free lodging. Why? Because he's hoping she was going to sleep with him. I think she stayed with him for like 2 months, never slept with him. They don't even have to sleep with you. They just have to give the prospect that they might. They know what they're doing in that regard, of course. But as long as they will always have a bailout. They always will. And consequently, I mean, it's the phenomena I talk about, the welfare state. The welfare state is basically people who are paid to lift your weights at the gym while you hold on to the bar. We just need to help them. We just need to help them. We just need to help them. And then all the Democrats and leftists are surprised that when like you got a son, right? Let's say you're the typical Minnesota dad. Your wife has the strap on. You let, oh, whatever you want, sweetheart. Oh my God, yes, let them all in. Oh, let's vote for more crime and higher tax. Yes, dear, I know. Here's some money for your nonprofit. Oh, right? You're the typical Minnesota family. And your son is this weak, scrawny piece of shit, right? Just like that. And he wants to go to the gym to get jacked so he can get the girls. Dude, this is the welfare state. And this is definitely Minnesota. Oh, we'll pay someone to lift your weights for you. Just hold on to the bar, son. And then they're just like, oh my God, why is our son not jacked after 2 years of going to the gym? Because everybody else is lifting the weight for him. He's just holding on to it. That's it. That's it. If you never face harshness, whether that's surviving and paying rent and facing starvation and actually being cold, that's the story. Or I guess in the South, you guys actually are hot, right? It's just too hot. You're trying to avoid the sun. Right? If you've never suffered, you will never grow. Pretty girls rarely suffer. And consequently, they're, it's arrested development. That's the phrase for it. They never grow. And so if you, I don't know, if you showed me Sadia Khan or Sadie Khan, I'd be like, I don't trust her. I'd have to get to know, I'd have to see what they're talking about. I don't trust her. You showed me some drop dead gorgeous girl, and then show me kind of the portly gal. I'm like, give me the portly gal. I need a computer programmer. I need someone who's going to show up on time. I have a thing. If I'm going to have a group hike come together, first it's going to be all guys. Although a lot of you guys run on manana time. If I need to leave at a certain place at a certain time, like, yeah, and we're going to do a group, it's going to be guys. Now, if people didn't show up, I'd leave anyway. But if I had to bet money who's going to be late, show me the prettiest girl in the group. That's the person who's going to be late. I'm going to be right 9 out of 10 times. And so when it comes to, and the main reason I'm bringing this up is so you guys stop wasting your investment and your hope and your energy. All right. It could be something like a date, right? The prettier she is, the higher chance she's going to flake on you. Right. So don't get your expectations up. Responsibility, especially like when you start getting committed or you're going to live together or whatever. All right. You want to find it. I mean, the ideal is a gal who grew up fat and ugly and then lost the weight and had to do it herself. Right. She just happens to be pretty because they're responsible. But man, the number of times can you sit down, everybody? Everyone got the sitting down chairs? Are you ready? Are you ready for this? This is gonna floor you. Did you know that in my entire banking career, all the girls that had horse, every time there was a horse involved, whether we were lending on the horse or not, didn't matter. If there was a horse, because it was all women who had the horse, the wife who had horse, not only in all instances did they fail to pay back the loan and either go into delinquency or default, but in all instances, the woman was insanely hot. Can you imagine that? Imagine that. Wow. Amazing. You will want to guard your time and invest. I mean, how many, and this is, what was he charging? $6,000 an hour? Buddy, I charge about $150 an hour on a video. I charge $300 one-on-one. I'm going to give you a lot more information way more quickly. Like everyone's saying, yeah, oh my God. But then people piss away their money, right? Oh my God, Elizabeth Holmes. How much did they invest in? How much was invested in, what the fuck was that? Theranos. How much was invested? How much money did you assholes give this woman because you wanted to fuck her that could have gone to whatever, trade schools for poor people, student loan bailout, housing, anything, literally anything. Over $900 million in venture capitalists was raised, almost $1 billion. That was 2014. So today's like 1.5 billion. Oh my God, don't get me started. There is tremendous amounts of money, time, effort, resources, and energy, stress, emotions. Like, oh, maybe I'll get a date with this girl. Maybe she'll, right? I'd love to talk to the great one. Like, how much did they cost you? Great one, put a price on the 2 months you endured having that girl live with you that you could have, like, hey, maybe hopefully get to sleep. And then I'm sure he was cleaning up after. What was the price? What was the expectation? Huh? What was the opportunity cost? You could have actually gone out with a normal girl that wasn't just pretty and crazy drug addict. There are tremendous, tremendous prices involved. And in fairness, right? You give the fair shake to everybody, right? It's a pretty girl. She applies for the job, interview her. But there'll be tells. Is she late to the interview? Right? It's not like you have to have, oh, she's pretty, can't trust her. Don't worry, she'll live, but just don't have your expectations high. Don't think, oh my God, I found the unicorn. No, no, you didn't. No, you just found someone who's got credit card debt. That's it. Oh my God, I found a girl, a beautiful girl. No, you just found someone who takes 2 hours to get ready in front of the mirror. Generally speaking. And I'll tell you this, ladies, if you're beautiful, and here I will give like Shoe on Head some credit, or Belle Delphine. If you are beautiful, you're professional, you're rich. The world is your oyster. You can go so far, ladies, if you're a pretty gal and you're smart and you're on time and you're responsible. Throw in an actual skill or a trade, I don't know, surgeon or accounting, you will, not to mention, you'll have a much more interesting life, actually being a professional or someone of interest or being good at something. And here's something just to show you. Vera Dark, she's a cute girl. She's not drop dead gorgeous, but she's a cute girl. Look at, and a lot of people, you don't notice it, but I've said this about her before. She's an exceptional public speaker. I'm not saying like you got to go to school for engineering to have a skill. Her skill is public speaking, and she's an exceptional public speaker. And then it's on top of a chassis of a cute girl with, some purposely dyed orange hair. Look at her go. Look at her go. So for ladies, if you are an attractive young gal, or most women can be attractive gals, just lose the weight, and you are responsible and you show up on time, not only are you going to have success in your working career, if you're responsible and show up on time, you know what else? You're probably going to have your pick of guys. You're probably going to find a guy like, are they going to date the gal who slashes his tires and cries and has bipolar disorder and claims they're missing their meds, Or there's this gorgeous girl who shows up on time and I'm like, yeah, let's go. Well, you said to be here at 5. I'm here at 5. Where were you? You're late. Why should I go out with you? That you'd be like, oh my God. Yeah, that's a keeper. So there you go. Link below, assholeconsulting.com if you got a question. Hey, Shark Taz, our buddy Shark Taz. Subscribe to his channel if you like. Shark does the music for most of the intros I got. If you're wondering, where that music, Shark does that. But then Shark also has a channel where he talks about sharks, which is better than watching like, oh my God, did you see the crazy political thing that happened today? I'm going to say the quiet part out loud. A cute, feminine, kind 7 who, I know where you're going, who's an adult beats a 10 who acts like a child and has no morals every time. Yeah, goddamn right. Absolutely. I'll take a Vera Dark over a Sadie Hawkins, Sadie Khan. Let's say Sadie Hawkins, Sadie Khan any fucking day. Any fucking day. To me personally, most 10s are absolute vile creatures with no souls or brain. I hate to say this, Shark, except for that one that showed up my dance class. Every 9+ I dated was a fucking mental nightmare. Every single one of them. Fake bullshit. Oh, I got bipolar. What was the other one? The other one, where you throw up your food. Bulimia or anorexia, whichever one. Oh, time to pay my bill. Yeah, I and I don't believe it. I don't believe you actually had mental disorders, ladies. I think you were just so gorgeous. No one fucking spanked you. No one disciplined you. No one told you. Well, now that I mentioned it, there were 2 gals I broke up with. One was a 9.5. The other was a 9.2. The 9.2, she was a model. She would go out and model at car shows. Both of them were the ones that either slashed the tires or punched me, committed some kind of crime. Because no one ever told them no. No one ever. Cuddle Wookums went crazy on Elkums because he was the first guy to ever break up with her. She was going to try to get him to go to jail. She wasn't even that good looking. She was like 7.58. And of course, a rich daddy. Of course. No, you need real human. Look, this is people in general. To have a good relationship with a person, professional, friendship, brotherly, or romantic, that person needs to have suffered at minimum the strains and strenuousnesses, the strain and strenuations, the pain of supporting themselves. At minimum, they need to be a self-supporting adult. And if you don't have that, there's no, because they don't respect your time. They're only used to having other people take care of them, whether it's a trust fund daddy or it's a fucking government check. They expect someone else to take care of them, and you can't form it because you're their slave. And so that's why me and Atham get along so well, because that guy suffered. Him and his entire family suffered. It's a fascinating story, but it's a heartwarming story how him and his siblings all stuck together. I'm like, wow. Yeah, and they all trialed and tribulated. But here's this, I hate to say this, here's an incredibly impressive, hardworking, intelligent man who's gay. I gotta tell him that. What time is it? Hang on. It's a 32. 32. 32. Okay, I'll tell him that one. Aside for being gay and he stinks and he's a little dopey. The path he went through galvanized this man into an incredibly interesting steel. Everybody I worked with at security were in the same boat. Some amazing people. God, I wish I knew what I had then. I wish I knew what I had then. Then you get these trust fund babies with mommy and daddy financed MBAs. Oh, you're so boring. You're so bland. All you know is you just gotta vote Democrat to get more of other people's money because all they had was other people's money. I mean, just these boring fucking people. And then they don't respect other people's time. Why? Because they never got punished. And what's time to them? They never had to invest their time. They never had like, oh, I got to work 8 hours. I got to work another job. Oh my God, I got a Friday off. I cherish this time so much. I don't know. I'm from Edina. Daddy paid for my journalism degree. Why do you hate black people? What are you talking about? I expect you to show up on time. See, punctuality is just part of white privilege, according to my professor. Well, then both you and your professor need to be kicked in the nuts. To me, personally, most 10s are absolute vile creatures, no soul or brain. Nope. Yeah, I agree. Here's another one. Maybe you can find it on the internet, but I was stuck on Access Vegas between 2 9s and 10s. Well, the one guy actually was somewhat savvy, but that entire panel of women were vile creatures. And they saying fucking nothing. And they are a soul and a drain. You go watch the video. And people have spoofed it. Ryan Stone spoofed it, where it's just, it was painful dealing with them. Painful. Half of them were drunk, and it was all, they're horrible people. Hey, Ace Montana, tied for first place with the most American name in America, along with Sam Whiskey. $5. Simps do not have to go bankrupt and dwindle in numbers. Simps do have to go bankrupt and dwindle in numbers eventually, right? Yes, because that's what would happen in the banking days. Is the simps they'd have their trophy wife, happy life, whether it was a horse farm or whether it was your more standard and typical, house in the burbs, granite countertop type of bullshit back in 2005. Yes, inevitably the bank will pull the loan. And your little house of cards comes falling down. And what do you think women think deserve means? I think in general, some women who do work hard and have hustle, they don't believe in deserve. But if we're to generalize and stereotype, I think women deserve means somebody else should support me at its most basic element. And that's not just women. I mean, take anyone who's lived, in a welfare family or mom and dad paid for things in the suburbs, right? Everybody suffers this a little bit, especially as your kids, because your parents have paid for you until you're 18. And then you come out from like 19 to about 30, And that's where the Democrats, frankly, get you because they know that your brain is used to, well, other people, like it just comes. The money just comes. The food is just on the plate. They don't know that mom and dad had to work hard or the taxpayer had to work hard to create that for you. And they just think, well, and it's also then backed up by your body's natural and ultimately most powerful desire to live. Where's the food? This is why all your Antifa leftist young protesters are increasingly violent because you're threatening their lives. It's like, no, I'm not threatening your life. I am denying you the right to be a slave master parasiting off of all the other workers in the party. You are no longer entitled to other people's labor. You can always go get a job, but they've never had to have a job, which is one, there's a natural revulsion to work because, yeah, everyone prefer to be lazy and not work. Work sucks. But I also think their brain has never been conditioned otherwise. They're experienced anything else. Well, the food always shows up. There's always gas in the car. So I think when women, I deserve, they've had everything else handed to them. They've never had to work for it. And every time they've hit the lever, the pellet comes out, right? They show up at the dinner table. There's the food. And I think that then applies to everything in life. And also they're lied to. So there are women out there as well as men. We tell, oh yeah, follow your heart and the money will follow. If you go to school and get good grades, then you'll get your 6-figure job. And then when it doesn't happen, then they get pissed logically, like the millennials did. And then, of course, because they were brainwashed, you're told to blame Orange Man bad or Republicans in the Senate. But then that applies to everything. Why? And here's the other thing. You're awake, you're sentient, you get one shot at life. This is all true. And I think in America, it's especially this way, but you're supposed to just have the best life ever. Like you're going to win. Everybody wins. In the movies, the good guy always won. You always got the girls. They're like, well, yeah, naturally that just happens to us. And so I think women, when it comes to dating, well, I deserve my Prince Charming. And you see that very pronounced where they just will not settle for anyone but Prince Charming. We always talk about Jason Momoa right around the corner. And 8,273 corners where women turn the corner. I'm like, oh, it's not that one, but it's the next one. Might be him or Ryan Gosling. It's just one more corner. You could definitely see this. I don't even think it's an attitude, this conditioning where because you've gotten everything for 18 years in your life before, it is only a logical expectation that you continue to get things, even though it's like, yeah, at 18, technically you're supposed to support yourself. And that doesn't just apply to food, clothing, and shelter in the welfare state that everyone gets, or education and healthcare and all that. But in women's world, it also means, well, I also get my man. I also am entitled to Hugh Jackman of 15 years ago. And I think they have a completely different understanding of the word deserve. Why deserve that? No, I think I'm expecting that. Well, I should get that. I don't even think it's should or an expectation. I think it's a given, right? I have this expectation that when I go to the gas station, I put my credit card into the thing, it fucking works. Well, sale canceled. Go inside and pay, you fuckers. I think women have this expectation. Well, yeah, I'm just going to get my 9.5 Prince Charming. He's going to have 6 figures and he's going to be a Democrat and he's going to be lots of, and then I could be a girl boss, but then he's also going to be pay for me. And then I could just flip the switch where I wanted it and then I could do it. But he's going to do the chores too. Because when were they told no? And yes, the guys or the society that tries to indulge women in this or anyone in this, yeah, inevitably you go bankrupt. Whether it's indulging the welfare class or Social Security, which is the same, or a trophy wife. Yes, I can show you instances. If you want to go through the bankruptcy reports and courts of many men, many simps, many dude brah, where they, I'll say this in fairness, half for their wife, half for happy wife, happy life. But the other half for their also entitlement, birthright, dude bro, I deserve it, was for the dude bro lifestyle. They wanted to play make-believe corporate executive. Oh, it actually made it in the garbage. Wow. mean, the garbage is this big. I think, again, in fairness, women are expecting they're going to be entitled to the horse shit that Oprah and the Democrats told them. Dude bros expect what they're going to get based on what 80s frat movies told them or Wall Street movies told them. And they absolutely will not put in the work. So yes, I think that's what, I'm sorry, it's a long answer, but it's an interesting word. I think women, I don't think it's like I did something, therefore I deserve it. I think, well, this is what I hit the pellet machine. Why isn't my Prince Charming pellet coming out? They have no clue as to the underlying economic production and infrastructure and payment through the parents of the government that went into giving them literally everything they've ever needed for 18 years. Crap game, $2. We don't deserve anything. We have to earn freedom. Yep. But as long as mommy and daddy keep shielding their children from having to work for a living, as well as the welfare state for broken kids or broken family homes and things like that. Yeah, as long as somebody else is paying for it, you never learn. Right? As long as men keep fighting and keeping the enemies at bay, women aren't going to learn. Right? As long as men are mostly cops and we're the ones keeping criminals away, girls are like, oh my God, why are you arresting him? Because he murdered a bunch of people, or he's suspected. That's why we're arresting. But he's black. You're just racist. No, we got it. We got some evidence. And there's a couple bodies. Lady, you want to get out of my fucking way so I can do my job and try and protect you? I'm going to protest. I mean, there's the epitome. You know, whatever, the ICE is making an arrest and there's some liberal white woman trying to get in the way and protest. It's like, lady, you should just arrest him for obstruction of justice. I would. Yeah, and you could protest here. Here's your protest line. You cross this line, here's a whole shitload of dudes, bunch of cops, and you're arrested. Crap game, $2. Marriage rate 2023 under 1%, but ladies expected. No, the marriage rate isn't under 1%. You know, what is that? 1 in 1,000 people? It's low. I don't think it's below 20%, right? What percentage of people get married? Let's say by 30, I think 20% of people are married by 30. Crap game, $2 again. Even Edina people learn eventually we must earn it. No, Edina people don't earn it because of all the money made in the 50s and 60s by their forefathers. Now Edina is like, oh my God. Edina has everything it deserves coming towards it. Absolutely everything. It is, Edina is the liberal white woman's paradise. Go look up their representatives in their city council. Chad Twizzler's stroke, $5. A solid 6 who's kind and sweet with Tiggle. But you get extra points for biddies. I love me my biddies. Is worth more than any 10. You get a solid 6. I'll tell you, introduce my girlfriend here who can cook. Girlfriend's got some nice Tiggle biddies, but she can cook. And that, it weighed the scales. It certainly did. That's an underappreciated thing. If you girls can cook a good meal or good anything, pastries or food or meals, it's like a guy who can work on the car. It's not the most vital thing, but yeah, it kind of helps. I've aside from that one gal, I've never met a 9 or a 10 who does any serious work. Never. It's all bullshit work. If work at all. All right, there you guys go. If you guys want, check out my book, The Book of Numbers, Analyzing the ROI in the Pursuit of Women. I got it right here. This is the Better Bachelor Edition. See, it's got Joker there. Better Bachelor Edition. The Book of Numbers. I think you guys are aware that 10s be cray-cray. And that's it. We'll see you guys later. Toodles.